So, welcome once again to Caminos Culturales, or Cultural Pathways. As we promised, here we are with this beautiful, special concert brought to you by the City of Albuquerque, the National Hispanic Cultural Center of New Mexico, Casa Varelas, and Congregation Albert. We got two of the leaders, two of the members of the two groups, Duke City Hora and Trio Jalisciense. Jose Santiago, a good friend of mine, actually. We've been buddies for a long time. Actually, I had known him since he was a young man. His father was one of the original mariachis. I remember Los Caporales.
Los Caporales.
That mariachi group was a wonderful group, a good example of what mariachis should be. The elegance, the pose, the music, interpretation, all that. And of course, the great Jordan Wax, an all-around musician, a good friend of mine also for a long time. Jordan and I had collaborated, and he has collaborated with many, many other groups. So my question is, guys, how has this collaboration has been to you? How does it make you feel to collaborate with these two similar types of music, or at least the beauty of the music? Whoever wants to answer first, you guys are welcome.
Well, I guess I'll start. When we were approached with this, I found it very interesting. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. I'm not very familiar, or I was not very familiar with klezmer style music. But once we get started and talking about it, it made a lot of sense to us. And of course, once we got together and rehearsed, it came together really easily, musically speaking. So it's been fun. It's been something very exciting, and I have done similar projects in the past with different styles of music, country music and mariachi. So doing this kind of project is essential for broadening our knowledge with the music, and also passing that on to our clientele as well. But it's been fun, very fun project.
That's great.
Yeah,
you, Jordan?
It's been a real pleasure, and it's been great too. This kind of how the project evolved over the period during the pandemic, and we first got the idea, and we're trying to make it happen, a little less than a year ago, and there was just no way we could get together. So it's felt really great to find yourself, thankfully that we have this moment where we can all be in a room together and hearing the music and be surrounded by the sound of the instruments again. And it's not just seeing a group on a screen for a change, or learning from musicians on a screen. That's felt really nice to kind of remember those, that role that music has in the community. It's something we experience together, and it's something that is a space that we all share, and that's been a really delightful experience. And the chance to do the collaboration has been also fun to just see, I think during the pandemic, all of our circles get so much smaller and just concentrated in the home life and the culture of your home, and that's important too. But it's great to also have a little bit of that moment where cultures come together and we find the bigger spaces that we all share, and this collaboration kind of is a really nice soundtrack to that experience.
And we do have such an exceptional community in Albuquerque, all the musicians anyway, lots and lots of different music, different styles. And I think it's time for us to start knowing one another, because a lot of times musicians don't even know of other groups or other musicians, because they're always working at the same time. But what bring us together really is the universal language. When we listen to music, at least I know when I like to listen to all kinds of music. Of course, I have to practice a lot my own stuff, but this is a good opportunity, and this is also a good example for you, the viewers, to see how these two music and how these two groups came together to give you this special gift of music. So can you tell me a little bit about the performers, the rest of the group?
Yeah, I can start. Our group is formed around Margot Leverett, who's a clarinet master in this tradition, and she learned her tradition through the music through working with elder musicians, mostly in her time in New York. She lived in New York for many years, and it's been a real privilege to have her here in Albuquerque. Just the past couple of years, she moved here, just as a real bearer of that tradition and at such a high level of development. So we formed the group around her to kind of to accompany her and her repertoire. So she's definitely a center point of the music, and we draw a lot of inspiration and learn a lot from her. And then I worked with Margot together through the traditional folk arts apprenticeship program to deepen my knowledge of klezmer music. And we started playing with Tanya Nunez, who's a great bassist here in Albuquerque. Just during the pandemic, I think, we were figuring out ways to collaborate, and that's been great to see how she's really brought a lot of skill and integrity and professionalism to learning this style, which, you know, is pretty unique and takes a lot of attention to the different details of how to play it. So it's really fun to get to have those two musicians to play with.
That's great. In Trio Jalisciense, we were talking about how mariachi music started, and it was just a very simple ensemble, sometimes 3 people, and then it went on to add more
Correct,
instruments.
Yeah, originally the mariachi, many people don't know this, but it started as a string ensemble, usually anywhere from 3 to 5 musicians, a couple of violinists, a harp, and a guitar, or guitarra de golpe. Much later, the guitarrón, the vihuela were added to the groups, and even later than that, the trumpets, which were during the golden cinema years of 1930s, approximately, when Mexican film was very popular. And so it's evolved, and what happened with our group was the restaurant who originally contacted us was looking for a small ensemble, and so they called me, and I had the opportunity to get some guys together for this ensemble. And so I had to think of musicians who were proficient. And, well, I chose the ones I did because we all have a lot of experience. Myself, I've been performing here in Albuquerque for 39 years with professional groups. And so I knew, what I had to do in the group, but I also had to look for a good singer, a good bassist, and also somebody on vihuela. So I approached Jose Chino Carrillo. Of course, everybody knows him around here. He's been in the business here for probably 25 years at least. As you know, he's a great singer, a great bassist. He's also a music educator. And he's originally from Zacatecas, Mexico, and has been here in Albuquerque for at least 25, 30 years. And then I approached Juan Daniel Salazar, who is our vihuela player. He's originally from Chihuahua, from Juarez, Chihuahua, but was raised in El Paso. And he's been in Albuquerque now for probably 7 years, I believe. And so when we formed the group 5 years ago, it was just for the restaurant gig. It wasn't nothing special. We didn't think much of it. And, well, it hit with the people. Everybody liked us. We started getting more gigs, and another restaurant picked us up, and then we got more days. And 5 years later, here we are, pretty much back to the roots of string ensemble mariachi.
That's great. Well, are we ready to listen to some music?
Yeah.
We're certainly ready to play it.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we get set up and we'll get started.
The first song we're playing for you today is a son jalisciense called El Triste.
Uy, ya, qué triste estoy por esa ingrata. Este es el celo que yo padezco. Échame tus brazos, mi alma, güerita. güerita, si acaso yo lo merezco. Este es el celo que yo padezco. Échame en tus brazos mi alma, güerita, si acaso yo lo merezco. Ay, no, 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 eso no tiene que ver. Ay, sí, 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 lloro por esa mujer. Ay, no, 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 eso no tiene que ver. Ay, sí, 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 lloro por esa mujer. ¡Chale bonito! Qué triste estoy, quiero llorar, pero no por esos ojos, mi vida, por otros que andan por ahí. Qué triste estoy, quiero llorar, pero no por esos ojos, mi vida, por otros que andan por ahí. Ay, no, 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 eso no tiene que ver. Ay, sí, 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 lloro por esa mujer. Ay, no, 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 eso no tiene que ver. Ay, sí, 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 lloro por esa mujer. Al estilo jalisciense, sí, señor. Qué triste estoy porque te vas. Ay, por el camino mi vida me la pagarás. Qué triste estoy porque me voy. Ay, por el camino mi vida te diré quién soy. Ay, no, 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 eso no tiene que ver. Ay, sí, 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 lloro por esa mujer. Ay, no, 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 eso no tiene que ver. Ay, sí, 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 lloro por esa mujer.
Hi, we are Duke City Hora. That's the name of our band. Hora is the traditional dance that's done at a Jewish wedding, where everybody dances in a big circle. And this is klezmer music. It's East European Jewish wedding music. It was traditionally passed down from father to son, and I learned from my teacher, Sid Beckerman, and this is one of the tunes he taught us. Eight, spade,
This next song we'll be singing for you is entitled Serenata Huasteca, written by Mexico's most prolific composer named José Alfredo Jiménez. Canto al pie de tu ventana, pa' que sepas que te quiero. Tú a mí no me quieres nada, pero yo por ti me muero. Dicen que ando muy errado, que despierte de mis sueños, pero se han equivocado, porque yo he de ser tu dueño. ¿Qué voy a hacer si de veras te quiero? Ya te adoré y olvidarte no puedo.
Huasteca, sí señor.
Dicen que pa' conseguirte necesito una fortuna, que debo bajar del cielo las estrellas y la luna. Yo no bajaré en la luna, ni las estrellas tampoco, y aunque no tenga fortuna, me querrás poquito a poco. ¿Qué voy a hacer si de veras te quiero? Ya te adoré y olvidarte no puedo.
Bonito, bonito.
Yo sé que hay muchas mujeres y que sobra quien me quiera, pero ninguna me importa, solo pienso en ti, morena. Mi corazón te ha escogido y llorar no quiero verlo, ya el pobre mucho ha sufrido, ahora tienes que quererlo. ¿Qué voy a hacer si de veras te quiero? Ya te adoré y olvidarte no puedo.
The next tune we're going to play is a hora. This one is called Hora de la Haneshti. It's named after a town in Moldavia. And this one we know is also played by Roma musicians in Eastern Europe. And it's like a lot of klezmer music that was shared by a lot of the different people that lived in that area. Always heard lots of stories about in the Ukraine, where my family's from and where a lot of this repertoire comes from. Bands would have a Jewish musician, a Roma musician, a Ukrainian musician, so no matter who was in the audience, they could do the request, or whoever's wedding it was, they were going to be ready for anything. So a lot of the tradition comes from that kind of mixing and collaboration, and really predates the time of nationalism and making these borders and boundaries and divisions between styles and cultures. So this is one of those tunes called Hora de la Haneshti.
This next song is called Qué Bonito Amor. It was composed by the same composer, José Alfredo Jiménez, and it's a slow love ranchera song.
Qué bonito amor, qué bonito cielo, qué bonita luna, qué bonito sol, qué bonito amor. Yo lo quiero mucho porque siente todo lo que siento yo. Ven juntito a mí. Quiero que tus manos me hagan 1000 caricias. Quiero estar en ti. Dame más amor. Dame más amor. Pero más y más. Quiero que me beses como tú me besas y después te vas. Yo comprendo que mi alma en la vida no tiene derecho de quererte tanto, pero siento que tu alma me obliga, me pide cariño y no más no me aguanto. Qué bonito amor, qué bonito cielo, qué bonita luna, qué bonito sol. Si algo en mí cambió, te lo debo a ti, porque aquel cariño que quisieron tantos me lo diste a mí. Qué bonito amor. צדיקים, קולרינו ושובה באוכלי צדיקים, קולרינו ושובה באוכלי צדיקים, קולרינו ושובה באוכלי צדיקים. דרך בזולב מזל טוב, על החסידים מזל טוב, כל ישראל מזל טוב, אין מזל טוב. דרך בזולב מזל טוב, על העידן מזל טוב, כל ישראל מזל טוב, אין מזל טוב. This next song is a little more romantic bolero entitled Amor, 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 made famous by Luis Miguel.
Los dos nació del alma. Pensar que mis besos se anidaron en ti, igual que palomas mensajeras de luz. Saber que mis besos se quedaron en ti, haciendo en tus labios la señal de la cruz. Amor, amor, amor. Nació de ti, nació de mí, de la esperanza. Se anidaron en ti, igual que palomas mensajeras de luz. Saber que mis besos se quedaron en ti, haciendo en tus labios la señal de la cruz. Amor, amor, amor. Nació de mí, de la esperanza. Amor, amor, amor. Nació de Dios para los dos, nació del alma.
And now for our grand finale, let's welcome together Duke City Hora and Trio Jalisciense.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The next song we're going to play is a polka entitled El Garabato.
¡Báilalo bonito!
Hey!
The next song we're going to do together is our version of a Yiddish song called Die Saposhkelech, which means the shoes or little boots. And this is a traditional Yiddish song from Eastern Europe about longing to reunite and be together with your loved ones. And it talks about the shoes. It's saying, I would even sell my own shoes and go barefoot, dragging myself after you for us to be together again. And it's a message that, is a good opportunity to translate it into Spanish, especially since now, more than ever, the kind of immigration we're having in our area in New Mexico is people who are coming because really the place they have come from has become so unlivable. And then that's, after one person comes, in order for families to be reunited and be together, people are willing to go through such horrible hardships and difficult journeys to reunite their families. So this is a song kind of about that process, that longing to reunite your family and kind of the willingness to sacrifice any degree of personal safety and go through any hardship to make that happen.
Oy verkaufen die Saposchkelech von auf die Droschkelech hab ich mit dir in einem zusammen. Ich kann dir und mir wie ein Klampion a dir Getzele fegile du mein. Yo vendería hasta los zapatos, pasaría por 1000 maltratos. Si yo en aquel lado te puedo ver, si yo nací pa' quererte así, ¿por qué vivir si será sin ti? Ay, mi alma, el aliento de mi ser. Dejo mi patria, dejo mi gente, pa' estar contigo nuevamente. Tú que me esperas por allá. Y ni siquiera una frontera no me detiene ni me altera. Ay, mi vida si es sin ti no vale nada. Atravesar la tempestad de delincuencia, oscuridad. Si yo en aquel lado te puedo ver, si yo nací pa' quererte así, ¿por qué vivir si será sin ti? Ay, mi alma, el aliento de mi ser. Ay, la, 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 la.
This next song is titled Las Perlitas, and it's a very popular Mexican polka.
This last song we have for you is a bolero by a Mexican composer, Armando Manzanero, titled Somos Novios, with a special Yiddish translation sung by Jordan Wax.
Kann nicht möglich sein, als die Sonne soll nicht aufgehen, das kann nicht möglich sein. Das kann nicht möglich sein, als die Welt soll bleiben stehen, das kann nicht möglich sein. Oh, wenn ich seh dich, ist mein Streben, dir mein Leben abzugeben, bis den Herzen mir rein, mein Welt und dir, das kann nicht möglich sein. Sie kennen so jemand, weil es von dem größten Jahr, das kann nicht möglich sein. Und kann man lächeln von der Herz dem Liebesflamm, das kann nicht möglich sein. Darf's nur sagen, Leben und Leid, bring mir das Leben ohne Sterben. Meine Schöne, ich verkäuf und dir es gern. Sein und dir, beliebter mein, das kann nicht möglich sein.
Para darnos el más dulce de los